MGF's range of tank braces are simple to assemble, highly versatile, modular hydraulic bracing systems. Designed to be used with steel trench sheets or sheet piles to brace small to large-sized trenches and cofferdams. Tank braces can be assembled in various configurations and are compatible with bracing struts. Tank brace systems are very heavy and should only be assembled, installed, and removed by competent personnel. MGF can provide a range of tank brace systems. This safe system of work guidance details how to assemble, install, and remove our 203UC to 406UC brace. Refer to our safe system of work guidance for T700 brace for details on that range. Bracing systems are typically assembled outside the excavation on timber skids and lifted into a shallow pre-dug trench by an excavator or crane. The components are handled using two leg chains and slotted together so the pinholes in the connecting lugs line up and are secured using a 50 mm diameter pin and R-clip. The end plates are then bolted together. Depending on the size of the excavation and the lifting capacity of the excavator or crane, it may be necessary to part assemble the legs outside of the excavation to connect these together within the trench. A double-acting hydraulic ram will be placed on the end of the assembled leg and should be pumped in to help with the ease of installation. To pump the hydraulic ram in or out, simply connect the pump's hydraulic hoses to the correct quick-release couplings. The isolation valve should now be opened by turning anticlockwise twice. The pump should be set to retract and activated to pump in the hydraulic ram. Prior to removal of the hydraulic hoses, ensure the isolation valve is closed by turning clockwise twice. If the tank brace is being assembled in a square or rectangular configuration, ensure a corner bracket is connected to each hydraulic ram. When internal frame angles are greater than 90 degrees, the corner bracket cannot be used. An additional hardwood packing should be used to pack out the corner void. Sheets can either be installed prior to excavating using a pre-drive method or using a push and dig method as demonstrated in this guidance. Installation commences by excavating to a maximum of 1 meter below ground level or to the underside of the top frame. Ensure the location of the spoil is an equal or greater distance away from the excavation as the final dig depth. This is to not create an added surcharge. Lower the first leg into the excavation onto timber skids. Ensure the lifting chains are adjusted to suit the off-balanced load due to the hydraulic ram. Lower the second leg into the excavation and carefully align the corner lugs and connect using a pin and R-clip. Continue to do this for each leg of the tank brace design. Ensure there is sufficient tolerance to swing the last leg into position. The corner bracket may need to be removed from the hydraulic ram temporarily. Using the ram assemblies as a guide, firstly install 8 corner sheets. For details on using the MGF pitching shackles, refer to the separate safe system of work guidance. When pitching trench sheets, ideally push the sheet into the ground with a minimum 1 meter toe to ensure the sheets cannot slip or slide. Each hydraulic ram is now ready to be pumped out to fully preload the sheets. MGF supply a range of manual or motorized double-acting hydraulic pumps and biodegradable hydraulic fluid. Refer to the MGF technical literature for further details. MGF recommend a max preload pressure of 100 bar or 1500 psi. If higher preloads are required, please contact MGF. Prior to use, ensure there is sufficient shoring fluid. Using the frame as a guide, pitch and drive the remaining sheets as far as is practicable without buckling the sheets. A digging window must be provided for the excavator. Restraining chains can now be installed between the first frame and the top of the sheets. Pack any localized gaps between the brace frame and the sheets with hardwood timber. Tank brace legs should always be installed square and plumb to the excavation walls, ensuring contact with all the inward-facing trench sheets. Excavate beneath the first frame to the required level of the second frame. Ensure the sheets are driven ahead of any excavating. Push down the sheets to the required level. Remove and reinstall the restraining chains as required. The second frame can now be installed. Lower each leg into the excavation onto timber skids and position them as tight as possible up against the sheets. Again, leave enough tolerance so the final leg can swing into place. Restraining chains can now be installed between the two frames. The hydraulic rams on the second frame can now be preloaded against the sheets. If bracing struts are required, they should be assembled outside the excavation and lowered into place. Excavating can now continue to final dig level. The remaining safety ancillaries should now be installed and subject to a final inspection. The excavation is now safe to enter. Removal is a reverse procedure of the installation sequence. Prior to removal, all hydraulic rams must be depressurized to avoid the need for excessive extraction forces and to avoid damaging corner joints. Equipment should be cleaned and safely stacked on timber skids, ready for collection.